There are some big mistakes that you are making as a drummer and they are letting you down. In this video, I'm going to explore 7 of these and we're going to see how to avoid them, and we're also going to see what we can learn from some bigger names in the music business. This is my son Theo. He's a year old, and in an effort to raise him up to be the best drummer ever, I'm also going to make sure that he avoids all of these mistakes. So while I'm showing you guys, I will also be attempting to show my baby these mistakes so that he grows up to not suck at playing the drums. So we've all heard of this guy, right? El Estepario has been taking social media by storm with his incredible playing abilities. Honestly, I often find myself watching his videos and just feeling like I'm the worst drummer ever. He's here and I'm here, and I just don't know if I will ever get there, but that's the thing. I feel like I suck, but I don't suck. I just feel like I suck because I'm watching people better than me. Honestly, the thing about El Estepario is, even if he wasn't a drummer, if he was just an athlete, or if he just played chess, I'm pretty sure he would be at the same high level in those things purely because of how much work he puts in as a person. He is just the type to get to the top because he is so dedicated. And this brings us to one of the biggest mistakes that we make as drummers: comparison. It's so cool to have access to all these amazing drummers on our devices. Instead of comparing yourself to these drummers, rather see them as inspiration and then just work on yourself. The next mistake is a huge one because it can absolutely ruin you as a drummer if you don't fix it. Imagine playing a gig and something is just not quite right with the band. The crowd starts to notice it, the band feels a bit off, and everyone just stares at you. The thing is, you might not have good timing on the drums, and this affects everyone around you. What is the mistake that you may have made to get you to this point where you don't have good timing? And it's not practicing with a metronome. As drummers, we need to build our sense of timing and just exercise that skill constantly so that when you're playing with others, you are the one in the center of the band keeping everyone together. However, here's a bit of a hack that may help you with this. Another option is just to put on Apple Music or Spotify and just jam to your favorite songs. Those songs were recorded in the studio with a click, with a metronome, so they usually stick to a time, and by playing with those songs, you are playing with solid time, and that's how you can also build your sense of time the same way that you would when practicing with a metronome. I grew up playing drums, and I can tell you I never sat and played metronome drills as a kid. All I did was sit on the drums, pop on some headphones, and I jammed to bands like 1000 Foot Crutch, Skillet, and 3 Days Grace. I have a pretty decent sense of timing now, and I'm pretty sure it was from playing all those songs to those bands. So my suggestion would be to do both. The metronome practice is vital, but mix that in with playing to songs so that you don't feel like practicing with a metronome is just a chore. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Let's get back to El Estepario. When he first got popular on the internet, this is how his videos looked. Can you see that small thing on his bass drum? It's called the Yamaha E8010, and it is a small condenser microphone that clips to the bass drum, and then it connects to a module that connects to your computer, and then with that small setup you have a full drum recording that sounds like it's been studio recorded. Instead of having a whole world-class setup, El Estepario got millions of views just using that tool. Zach Grooves used the exact same thing when he first started getting traction. There are 2 other drummers I want to mention here: JD Beck and Lewis Cole. Look at their setups in these videos and take a guess how much the gear costs. Cheap, plasticky cymbals have always just been part of JD Beck and Lewis Cole's sounds, so they don't need to spend a bunch to get those sounds, and that's the mistake here. Is drummers often think that the better your gear, the more equipped you are for success. Your gear is good, bud. Okay, picture this. You've lived life to the fullest, met a girl, had kids, traveled the world. You're now 50 years old, sitting at the family dinner table, grateful for everything you've experienced. There's only one problem. Your family is trying to tell you things, but you can't hear anything they're saying. You can't hear your daughter speaking about her new job. You can't hear your son tell the story about how he survived a car crash. You feel isolated. Why? Because you've been playing drums for decades without protecting your ears, and now your hearing is gone. Alright, that all sounds a bit hectic, but it is the biggest truth that I can tell you for this video. Your hearing doesn't come back, it doesn't heal. Once it's gone forever. Drums are one of the loudest instruments out there, and there are so many older drummers who have permanently damaged hearing because they were rock stars. They were playing in pubs and bars and just never protecting their hearing when they practiced. I highly encourage you guys to wear some sort of ear protection every time you sit at the kit, because you don't want to be in a position where your hearing starts to go. Now let's get into the practical stuff. How do you learn drums? Do you hop onto YouTube and just watch whatever video has been suggested? There's nothing wrong with that, but there is a way of learning drums efficiently so that you get better results faster. To do that, you just need some sort of structured process to follow, and the best way to do this is to have a one-on-one private teacher. If you have a private teacher, they can cater to your exact needs and they can adapt to what they think you need to learn. They'll see what techniques you've missed, they will see what you're struggling with, and they can help you and give you stuff to play that will make you better. I will always tell people, get a private teacher if you want to get the best results possible with your playing. With that said, not everyone has the opportunity to have a private teacher. The next best thing you could do is sign up for a platform like Drumeo. Drumeo has tons of step-by-step courses that take you from 1 to 10 in a very clear way. By the way, if you want to check Drumeo out, follow the link in my description. You'll get 30 days for free. Also, I know I've been speaking about El Estepario a lot, but he's about to do a 30-day course in May for Drumeo, and if you want to get access to that, you can actually watch those videos by following that link with that free trial. If you're watching this video after May, that whole course will still be there when you sign up.
We will meet up at the end of each week for a live session.
Okay, the next mistake is one that I have really felt strongly recently because it's something that I have realized within myself. So, drumming and what people perceive as good drumming is usually chops and crazy ideas around the kit and playing a lot of things that sound impressive. But the big mistake that drummers make when learning is they want to get there first before just honing in on what it's like to play a good groove or a simple beat and just enjoy doing that. So we all learn how to play a basic rock beat when we first start playing drums, but how much fun do you have when you actually sit down and play a basic rock beat? So the mistake is not spending time with those simple beats and just enjoying them and thinking, wow, this is what drumming is about. This sounds so cool. It feels so cool. Whoever's listening to this thinks it's cool too. Here's a bit of an exercise to try out. It is just to sit at the drums and play a basic 8th note groove for as long as you can. And the more you repeat it, the more you're likely to get into this zone where it suddenly just starts to click and it starts to feel like you're in the pocket and it just, oh yeah, drumming's just flipping awesome. Okay, rudiments. Big buzzword when learning to play the drums. There are 40 rudiments, and a big mistake that drummers make is they think they have to learn all of them. It's okay to learn all of them, but what happens is if you do that, you are spreading your focus too thin instead of really just solidifying a few and getting good at those and building some sort of personal vocab where you can use those to play cool things. Here's the best thing about this is you actually only need to know 5 rudiments, and here they are. Single stroke, double stroke, single paradiddle, drags, flams. Those 5 rudiments are the base of all the other rudiments. So if you learn those, solidify those, and get good at those, you should be able to play the other rudiments fairly easily. Mama, dada, mama, dada. We've looked at 7 mistakes, and avoiding those will make you a better drummer over time. Remember, it's not a race, it's a process. The more you do the process, the better you get slowly, and the micro results that you see along the way are super rewarding. However, there are ways to get better faster if you're interested in optimizing how you play and learn the drums. If you want to know how to do that, check out this video.